As you can see, I am not in Odessa, my usual base. I'm here in Chisinau, the capital of Moldova. Behind me, the beautiful church in the central square. I thought I'd do something out here so you can get a little bit of a sense of the local flavor. By the way, walking around here, many Ukrainians who fled at the start of the war are still here. Many come here to visit or visit relatives, but you can really feel the Ukrainian influence here. What am I doing in Chisinau after just coming back to Odessa? Well, I am off to a country I have never been to before, and that would be Armenia in the South Caucasus. I'll be spending most of the week, starting tomorrow in Yerevan, but I'll be going also to Armenia's border with Iran. And that brings me back a whole circle to that theater of war, which I left about 10 days ago. Hard to believe, but when you're in the business of connecting the dots, geopolitical dots, that's what you do. But I'll be featuring quite a bit from Armenia once I get there. It's one of the most underreported countries in the world. It's positioned between Russian influence creeping upwards into Georgia, and also it has a new peace deal with Azerbaijan, normalizing relations slowly with Turkey. And the Americans are taking a big interest because they see Armenia as kind of a buffer between Russia's influence, but also as a potential platform, as a corridor for trade, for energy. And, American interest, to be fair, is probably calculated or premised on the assumption that this could help reduce Russian influence in the region. So please stay tuned for that. But again, those of us who are in the business of connecting the geopolitical dots, very, very difficult, especially when we look at the Middle East right now and what's happening within the Strait of Hormuz. I just checked the headlines right before going outside, and it looks like a foreign flag tanker has been fired upon by the IRGC, by the Iranians, and there is some movement of vessels through the strait, but not much, and it contradicts what Donald Trump said yesterday, that the strait is totally open for business, that it's a great day for the U.S. and for the world. Well, no, it isn't. And, there's a saying, many of you probably heard it, it's easy to stop wars. It's very, very difficult to stop them. And a lot of the traffic through this area, a lot of the price of oil, crude oil, of diesel, everything, depends on confidence. And at the moment, there's very little confidence, despite, again, wishful thinking, I would call it, by the Trump circle, that things have gone back to normal. You feel it everywhere where I travel, whether it's in Thailand, in the Philippines, on the streets of Odessa, here in Chisinau, that what's happening in the Middle East, and of course the war in Ukraine next door here, is really putting a squeeze on the economy, but especially the little guy. And not so little guy as well. I posted in my sister publication, My Savvy Traveler today, that Thai Airways is instituting really, really big cutbacks domestically, regionally, and on some long-haul flights like Istanbul, Bangkok, a route that I take a lot. Cost of jet fuel, the cost of diversions due to the war is really taking a pinch, squeezing airlines a lot. Air Canada just announced the cancellation of flights to John F. Kennedy Airport in New York City. They'll be still flying, of course, to New York and LaGuardia. They aren't far away, but there are other destinations too that are being cut. And within 3-4 weeks, if things don't normalize, the lack of jet fuel will cause more groundings. It's already caused ticket prices to go up. I was briefly at Chisinau Airport yesterday, a second time there in about 10 days, and I could really see there's fewer and fewer flights and fewer passengers because fares have skyrocketed so much. The other thing that's happened due to the odd, bizarre decision-making of the Trump circle is the Americans have extended a sanctions waiver on Russian oil, meaning that Russian oil, apparently seaborne Russian oil, is exempt from these sanctions. What does that mean? Well, that means the very obvious, that the Russian war machine will continue to be funded by the tune of millions of dollars every day by the sale of Russian oil, which should be sanctions, but it's not. And this is the Trump administration trying to, take a little bit of a heat off themselves for starting this war, this mess that the whole world is in right now. But that isn't the way to do it. And I need not tell most of you that what that translates into is more capability, more chutzpah rather, for the Russians to continue their aggression on Ukraine, like we felt, 2 or 3 nights ago, with hundreds of drones fired on Ukraine, but especially on my base of Odessa. They're saying they're showing no interest whatsoever in any sort of peace. You may have seen I had an op-ed in the Toronto Globe and Mail, Canada's national newspaper, on Thursday and Friday, and in it I made 2 main points. I said, yes, Mr. Zelensky of Ukraine has a lot of leverage right now because the Gulf states have come to him for kit, for expertise to bring down the Iranian drones, the same ones that are pummeling Ukrainian cities, fired by Russia. And that what he should be doing in return is saying, okay, boys and girls, especially UAE, put an end right now to Russian investment, to the members of Mr. Putin's inner circle. Tell them enough is enough, no more investment, cut off Russian tourism for the time being until Russia shows some kind of interest, commitment to ending the war in Ukraine. Again, Mr. Zelensky has real leverage right now, and I think this will show whether he's a real wartime leader who can utilize leverage or someone who's beyond his depth. I also made the point in there that the Americans have shown themselves totally inept, incompetent at being the go-between between Russia and Ukraine in achieving some sort of peace. Time for them to step back. And for another interlocutor who has skin in the game, like Turkey, to lead the negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. They have good relations with all sides, and they have a big stake in Black Sea security, and they have a lot of investment in Ukraine. Look at the relative success that Pakistan has had in terms of negotiating talks between Iran, Israel, and the United States. Israel in the background, of course, but the United States. Finally, it looked like it was a good week in terms of peace in Lebanon. It looks like a ceasefire is holding. But I just read that a French member of the UN peacekeeping force there was killed. We don't know which side fired upon this peacekeeping mission, but it goes to show how fragile negotiated peace deals are right now. But it is interesting to see Mr. Trump using his leverage over Mr. Netanyahu and saying no more firing on Lebanon, and Netanyahu stopped because he knows very well how dependent he is on Donald Trump. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, did that ever cause a backlash back home for him. His popularity is rock bottom anyway, but Israelis are saying, hey, you promised us you're going to finish the job in Lebanon, and here you go stopping the war midstream. That's it for me. Thank you so much once again for your support of World Briefing. I will try to bring you more of these exclusive insights and videos as I begin my travels. Stay safe, everyone, and have a great weekend. Michael Bociurkiw giving you my commentary from right here in Chisinau, Moldova.